Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. More Newcastle United news. On Sunday we take on Southampton. That is our final away game before the World Cup. 4th against 17th. One more week of football after that, and just like that, the World Cup break. What a phenomenal start of the season it's been for Newcastle. Everything's went perfectly well. We could potentially be heading into the World Cup in the top 4. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but no matter what, we're in a very comfortable position, and it's going to be great. Once that transfer window opens, it's going to be easier, I would say, to bring players in, and the club is in a very nice position. But anyway, if you're new around here, make sure to get down there, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content on the channel. Overnight stay vlog for Southampton. It's going to be quite an interesting one on Saturday. No spoilers, but I highly recommend you checking it out. And as well as that, you can also get down there, smash like button. And finally, question of the day. Score predictions against Southampton on Sunday. What are you guys thinking? I'll tell you what I think at the end. But anyway, for the news today, so as you can see in the title, an amazing gesture from Bruno towards his teammates. And as well as that, we've got some quite big safety concerns ahead of the Saudi Arabia trip, which could actually get the trip cancelled for Newcastle. We'll get into all that in a bit. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into all the news now. First off, and speaking of the World Cup, if any of you watched the Chelsea match last night in the Champions League, you would have seen that Ben Chilwell came off with quite a serious looking injury that is more than likely going to completely rule him out of the World Cup. So first off to Ben, best wishes. Of course, that's horrible to see from any football player. Devastating to hear, especially when you're that close to a major tournament. Yeah, it's going to really take it out with the player. So yeah, best wishes. Obviously no malice at all. However, though, with him being injured now, of course, this is where the Newcastle spin comes into it. The likes of Dan Burn are probably going to have a decent chance of getting called up from Southgate now. Yes, I'm biased. Of course, I watch Dan Burn every single week, but I do generally believe he deserves a call up for England. I'm aware he's in Southgate's 55-man squad, but of course, he's got to condense that down for the World Cup. And there's no reason why Dan Burn shouldn't get a call up. Based on form, he's been incredible, so it's one of these sort of ones where we see what happens. But Dan Burn, I think he deserves a call up, and in that left back position, I know he's not his natural position, but I think he's done a very good job there. He's completely kicked Matt Target out of the team, who is the left back. So yeah, he's done a brilliant job there. Defensively, Newcastle have got the best defence as I'm recording this video in the Premier League. So I mean, based off that, then yeah, he's got every right to be in the World Cup squad, but whether he gets that or not is another question. But personally for me, I think he deserves the call up, and the opportunities now came up for him to potentially get that. So today the official nominations from the Premier League came out for Manager of the Month and Player of the Month. And as expected, due to how amazing we're being in October, Newcastle United is splattered all over the nominations. So we have 3 players that has been nominated for Player of the Month, so 3 out of possible 8 are Newcastle players. Congratulations to Bruno, Trippier and Almiron on the nominations. We'll get into that shortly. And as well as that, Eddie Howe has also been nominated as Manager of the Month, which he's expected to win. 5 wins, 1 draw out of possible 6 games. He's obviously going to win it. But as for the players, that was a bit more complicated because you've got the likes of Haaland in there. Him, he's still banging 7-8 goals away. But Bruno came out on Twitter today with a lovely message. So he actually came out and outright told Newcastle fans not to vote for him or Trippier, to completely vote for Almiron because of how well he's been playing. Now, yeah, I mean, Almiron, it's either Almiron or Haaland that's going to win the Player of the Month, really. Those are the 2 best performing players this month. And I just think it's amazing to see another Newcastle player actually come out and outright telling the fans not to vote for him, to vote for somebody else. And it sounds like an obvious thing to do, but it's just amazing to see Bruno do that. He's such a lovely individual, and he's continuing just to come out and just try and help others. Almiron, of course, last season and the start of this season especially got grilled a lot from Newcastle fans. Even I'm at times have been quite guilty of sort of criticising Almiron. I mean, he scored once in 36 games last season, which for a winger is just not good enough. So I've been quite critical towards him. But yeah, he's completely shut everyone up. And again, you got likes of Jack Grealish come out here. Manchester City player, intoxicated, comes out and starts slagging Almiron off. I mean, why did he pick Almiron? What's he done wrong? He just picked Almiron out for no reason. It's just such a horrible message. He hasn't once to apologise for it. And I mean, you get a Premier League winner coming out when bear in mind, when he's celebrating winning the league, and he's coming out and slagging the Newcastle player. I mean, imagine what Almiron would have thought when he saw that. It's just horrible. It really does deflate a player. But thankfully for him, he's just kicked it on. He's kicked it on, he's shut everybody up, and it's amazing to see, and he deserves the Player of the Month. I think he will win it personally, but again, though, they might give it to Haaland, so it's not like 100%, but he's been amazing, and it's so good to see everyone showing his support, because he's been through quite a lot at Newcastle over the past year, I would say. But yeah, well done to all the nominations. I expect Eddie Howe and hopefully Almiron to win both of the awards. A major update regarding Newcastle United's trip to Saudi Arabia in December. So, if you remember correctly, Newcastle are heading there between the 2nd of December to the 10th or 8th day period, where they will play one match in front of fans on the 8th. Now, a problem with this trip being is that Saudi Arabia believes that Iran will attack the country, so of course that puts in a massive security risk. At the minute, it's fine. For example, the WWE is actually in Saudi Arabia on Saturday for one of the pay-per-view events, so they're still running events over there. But of course, especially you've seen it with Ukraine, all over the world, things can escalate very quickly, and within the next couple of days, week, however long it may be, it could completely change it and ruin Newcastle's trip up. So if you're heading over to Saudi Arabia, obviously keep an eye on the news. For example, for me, I've already got my visa back, but I haven't actually booked my flight and stuff like that. So I'm kind of waiting and seeing what happens first. So it's going to be a nightmare booking everything. But yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is at the minute. So if you're planning on going to Saudi Arabia, definitely keep an eye on that. And before we finish off for the Southampton predictions, I'm going to make a little bit of an announcement here. So, of course, this year is going to be quite different, because with the World Cup on, I'm going to be making England videos and Newcastle United videos at the same time. So it's going to be quite weird to get used to, I would say, over the next month or so. But I want to try and get some of you guys involved. So if any of you watching this video ever wanted to get one of my videos, or you see me on the matches and want to talk to me, whatnot, I think for the England games especially, I want to try and make my videos a little bit more interactive. So for example, for my England games, what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to go to the fan zones, which I did at the Euros, to be fair, but I never made sort of any dedicated videos on it. So I'm going to go to the fan zones, and we get plenty of videos done there. Of course, I get people talking to the camera, I get people celebrating the goals. It's just been a great time just to take a break from Newcastle. Now, I know some fans have been quite sort of gutted that the World Cup's on, because it ruins Newcastle's momentum, but I actually don't think that's true. I think as long as no Newcastle players pick up a long-term injury, especially with Wilson going, I'm terrified for Wilson when he gets called up, which I think he will. The likes of Bruno as well, Trippier, if one of them pick up a long-term injury, I think it is going to screw Newcastle big time. But at the same time, the window is going to open, so Newcastle can rectify that issue. I don't think it's that much of an issue, to be honest, the World Cup this year, and I'm kind of intrigued to see how it's going to work in a Christmas period over in the UK. So yeah, for me, I don't mind it so much. I think it's a good break, and as I said before, Newcastle is still getting games done in Saudi Arabia, and this secret match as well that's going to take place at St James's Park if Newcastle go out with the Carabao Cup. So yeah, still plenty of Newcastle United stuff planned over the World Cup period, but of course it is going to be a massive break from the Premier League. So yeah, that's my little announcement there. If you guys want to get involved with any of my videos over the next month or so, just get in touch on one of my social media pages. Sorry, bit of a hiccup there. But yeah, if you want to get involved, just let me know, and I'm going to get some fan zones booked over the World Cup. But yeah, as for Newcastle United content, that should stay more or less the same. There'll still be a lot of Newcastle United content, just of course be less games over the next month or so. But yeah, look forward to it. But I just want to announce now that obviously it's going to be a bit weird over the next couple of months. And finally, we're going to finish things off by talking about what I think for the Southampton game. So, of course, as I said in the intro, it's 4th against 17th in the Premier League. And as expected, you would think Newcastle is going to go there for the 3 points. Now, with Joelinton's suspension, I don't expect things to change too much, because the Villa match he played out in the wing, he didn't play in the midfield, so I expect the midfield to stay the same. But either Murphy or St Max will come back into the starting 11, where Joelinton would have been playing. So, in the grand scheme of things, nothing really changed for Newcastle's team. We still have our best players. And it's a match that, on paper, I think Southampton will be desperate to try and win the game. So they don't underestimate them at all, because they will go out full force trying to get something for the match. But I think Newcastle, on paper, should be too strong for them. We should be able to hopefully score early on and just slowly pick them off. And hopefully, in my opinion, try and get another high-scoring game in. But as long as we win one of the next 2 matches, I do not mind. Either beat Southampton or beat Chelsea, and I think we've had an amazing start of the season. 3 more points on the table puts us in the top 6 position when the World Cup begins. And the top 6 shortly afterwards when the transfer window opens is going to be amazing for us. The attraction that the club will have in bringing players, and that's the most important part for me, not necessarily where we are going to the World Cup, but where we are when the window opens, because it's going to be easier to bring players in, and that could be ultimately what decides our season. So yeah, it's important not to get too carried away. I know we're playing amazingly well this season. We've lost once, but all that can change in a flash. So we've got to take it one step at a time. We cannot get just carried away. That's all I can say. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all for the overnight stay vlog down at Southampton. Ooh, exciting time.